This is a broadhead arrow tip. This is what I use when I hunt. I've got Carson on his way in right now, and I'm gonna use this as an object lesson that's probably gonna threaten his life, but it's to help him face the fear that he's going to need to, because his next journey with his portfolio set is now learning how to buy real estate with no money. And fear is what gets in everyone's way, not for Carson.
So there's nothing scarier than getting a really cryptic text from Kris right on the day when we are getting ready to film. He told me that we're at this point in the journey where it's time for me to overcome my fears. I thought that we'd been doing that all along, but apparently he's ready to take to the next level. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Carson, come on in. How we doing?
Good. Oh, shiz.
You know what this is, right?
I know what an arrow is, yes.
So we've got your portfolio set to turn from $1 million into millions of dollars.
Yes.
So where we're going next is building a real estate portfolio with no money, no credit, starting with nothing. Make sense?
Nothing.
Starting with nothing. I'm taking everything away. But for you to engage in that journey, you're gonna have to overcome your biggest fears. Do you know the number one thing stopping people from investing in real estate when they feel like they have no assets?
Is it that they're gonna get shot by a big broadhead arrow?
Maybe. No, they're actually afraid what?
They're afraid to do it.
How can I do it if I don't have money? They're afraid that they don't know how, they don't have the knowledge, and it's scary to invest in the game of real estate without any money. So fear is what stops them. So I brought an exercise with us today that is going to allow you to face fear, because where we're going next, we're gonna be building a portfolio with no money. Welcome back to The Million. My name is Kris Krohn, America's #1 single-family real estate investor.
And I'm Carson Tejan, and for the next year, I'm this guy's apprentice.
Now, recap on what we've done so far. Years ago, you started following my advice, and what you did is you and your wife saved up enough money to buy a house, and then you house hacked yourself from building equity in one, transferring it to another, doing that again. And right now you built your net worth to $1 million. And you know what? Over the next 5 to 10 years, it's gonna turn into a second million, a third million. It's gonna keep going. But there's something that you have not been trained on, which is how to buy real estate when you have no money. So
that's fair.
Guess where we're going next?
Right there. Buying real estate, no money, no credit, starting from scratch.
I'm going to show you how to build a portfolio of real estate starting with no money, no credit, starting with nothing.
Oh man. Being totally honest,
yeah,
it's intimidating. I feel out of my depth in this moment.
Why?
Because you're going to make me do some really hard stuff that probably are things that most people don't want to do, that are out of your comfort zone.
See, he's already judged it. He's already decided it's probably going to be hard. But you know what? If I told you that this strategy could help you build 10 more homes more rapidly in your portfolio, or get to 100 homes so that you could kiss a job goodbye, which you're not allowed to do, right? How empowering would it be to know not just how to make money work for you, which means that it will take time, but you can now collapse time by saying, if I don't have any money, I can still invest. If it was possible for you to do, how powerful would that be?
I mean, that's huge, and I want the result, but I feel like I'm on this side looking at the top of the mountain being like, oh my gosh.
And what feeling does it bring up for you?
Fear.
Okay.
It's scary.
Guess why I brought this?
To emphasize how scary it is?
Well, first of all, let's just talk about what this is. This is
It's a broadhead arrow.
Yes, it's a broadhead, and this, traveling at 100 miles an hour, this guy right here is going to put a 2-inch hole through an animal and take its life. That is what this is designed to do, right? So it's an instrument of death. And so what I want to do today is I want to talk about the fears that are in you that need to be put down. They need to be put to death. But sometimes we have to face our fears to overcome them. So today we're going to face death.
Okay.
So here's what we're doing today. I'm teaching you and Carson about the secret to real estate investing. And this is like the real secret, because a lot of people are like, well, it's all about strategy, right? Or it's all about having the right mentor. You got to have some money. But I actually think there's a skill that's even more important, and it looks like this. Today we're talking about negotiation and mindset and why these are key. And when I say negotiation, I mean talking to people, because real estate is a people game, not a house game. And this is something that people get really confused on. They're like, well, we're dealing with bricks, right? And fireplaces and bedrooms and bathrooms. Like, no, like that's an inanimate object. You're dealing with people. It's people that buy and sell homes. So this is a people game. Most people fail in real estate investing not because they lack money, but because they lack the right mindset and the people talking skills. The number one mistake new investors make is they don't negotiate well, or they let fear stop them from even talking to sellers in the first place. And I'm just going to tell you right now, before I go into what is the strategy for doing no money down real estate, here's what I want you to understand. There's so many of them, and they all share one thing in common. You got to talk to other humans to negotiate price or a deal, and it's not just a numbers game. It ends up being a heart game, a feeling game, and a people game.
Okay, so you keep saying these words, no money real estate, but at some point in the process, like money's gonna be involved, right? Like you can't actually do real estate without any money.
All right, check it out. I want to give you an example of what this looks like, and I'm going to share with you a little bit what Carson is going to be learning how to do. This is a house, and it is worth this amount of money. But I'm going to show Carson how to get this house at a discount. So he's going to get it for less. He's going to buy it without using any money. And then while he owns it, he's going to collect several $100s a month, a positive cash flow. And then later the house is going to be sold for that extra money that he negotiated down on it. And altogether, it's going to turn into a really handsome profit. And you're going to do all of that potentially with none of this at all.
Can I just speak for our friends watching at home and say, this sounds like, too good to be true. Like maybe it's not true.
If you are not subscribed to learn the master secrets of the universe in the game of real estate and no money down, that's where we're going right now. But let me bring you back to why this doesn't actually happen. Because I've made a lot of videos on YouTube showing people how to do this stuff. This is gonna be my first time guiding you through the process of doing real, actual deals that are gonna make you the money, and I'm gonna mentor you in how to do this. Let's talk about why people don't do it though. It's right here. It's fear. Fear is what stops us from living the life of our dreams. Fear is the thing that keeps us from actually pursuing anything outside of mediocrity or normalcy. For example, I need a lot of money to start. It takes money to make money. Or I don't have the experience. I don't know how to do it. These are reasons why people don't do what I'm about to teach you. Or I don't know how to find good deals. Or I don't know how to find tenants. Or I don't know how to, and like all of these fears, they keep us stagnant. They keep us completely stuck. But here's the reality check. 80% of successful real estate investors started with no money just like me. It is true that I took 14 months and I saved up $3,300, and that was my first down payment on my first property. But after that, literally this house bought that house and this house bought that house. 25 homes later, with no additional cash out of my pocket, was worth $1.6 million, and I was making over $12,000 a month residually, doing exactly what we're talking about right here, overcoming fear and doing no money down real estate deals. Over 40% of first-time investors use other people's money. So OPM is one of the strategies that we are going to talk about. 90% of good deals come from knowing how to talk to sellers, not necessarily having capital. It's a negotiation game and it's a talking game, and that's the game that I'm going to be teaching Carson.
Will you just tell me what the arrow's all about?
Actually, that's where we're going right now. What I'm going to be doing with this arrow is I'm going to be placing it on your neck, and you are going to walk into this arrow until it breaks or until you break. Except we're not using a live arrow. We're not using that. We're actually going to be using a training arrow. Touch the tip. No blood, right?
Yeah, that's
so this
better
is
than that guy.
This is a blunted tip, and this is what is called a training arrow. It is made of wood. It's not nearly as long. It has a little bit of flex in it, but I am telling you the truth when I tell you that we're going to take this arrow, we're going to put it on the softest part of your body, which is right here in this. And I'm going to put my hand out here, and I'm going to put pressure against the arrow, and I'm going to let you lean into it until it breaks. Make sense?
Are you going to do it first and show me how it's done?
I've actually never done it. I'm kidding. So I have one question for you.
Yeah.
When you jumped in the river, were you telling the truth when you said you would do anything I asked?
Yes.
Let's go. So this exercise is called an arrow break. And it's because you're gonna attempt to break this arrow on your throat. And we're not really here to see if your neck is strong enough to break arrows. We're here to overcome fear. So the first thing that I want you to do, Carson, is I want you to contemplate, what is my number one fear that would keep me from making lowball offers, approaching strangers, negotiating to buy their houses for low prices? What comes up for you?
Looking like a moron in front of people.
I want you to take this black Sharpie and I want you to write that on there. I'm afraid I'll look like a moron. Everyone has fear that keeps them from moving forward, and all of our fears are different. But for Carson, it's, I don't want to be judged. I don't want to look bad. I don't want someone else to think less of me. And all fears go basically to a root fear, which is I'm not enough. And what's coming off of that right now is I do not want to look like a moron. As long as you have a fear-based limiting belief in your mind that is holding you back from moving forward, it's got to be replaced with something that will move you forward. So here's a different question. What would you have to believe that would make you feel excited and powerful to approach people and have these conversations, even if they ended in rejection?
I don't know, something like, this is easy.
Go deeper.
I can do this.
I can do
This
this.
isn't that hard.
Okay.
I like talking to people. Strangers are fun.
I like negotiating deals with strangers.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah? I'm gonna have you write that on the arrow as well. We're gonna put basically both of these ideas on here. One of them, which is his fear that keeps him from moving forward, and the other one, which propels him forward. Kids, don't try this at home. I've done this exercise with thousands of people, and almost all of them have survived. So just so I'm clear, you're afraid to look like a moron, but if you could turn that around into, I love negotiating these deals, that would change the game for you.
If I actually believed I love negotiating these deals, yes.
The problem is you don't believe.
No, right now I hear that and I'm like,
So
no,
guess
you
what
don't.
we're about to do? Break
Step
an
in.
arrow on your throat, because by the way, it's gonna feel like you're facing death. And if you can face death, you can change your belief system. Deal? Let's go.
Is this my challenge for the
No.
episode?
Nope. We've got a big challenge for you at the end of the
Shut
episode.
up, this isn't.
Yeah. Except this challenge doesn't just come with a consequence if you don't do it, it also comes with a reward if you do it. So this is how this is gonna work. I'm putting this on because I'm gonna take the knock of the arrow and I'm gonna put it in my hand to protect myself.
Okay, you get
You got it.
your hand.
I'm gonna have you take a step back this way.
Okay.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you take that and put it right above the collarbone on the fleshy part. And all I'm gonna do is hold this right here. I'm not gonna push. This would be you
Choking me.
walking into it. Take a breath, you're okay. The first thing I want you to do is just tell me your name.
I am Carson TJ.
My limiting belief was.
My limiting belief was I hate feeling like a moron in front of people.
Yes, but what's your new belief? What are you stepping into? What's new for you that's gonna make all this possible?
I like negotiating with strangers.
Oh, say it and mean it.
I like negotiating with strangers.
And I want you to end with, I am limitless.
I like negotiating with strangers, and I am limitless.
And take one big step forward. Ah! You did it, dude. Oh my gosh. Well, that wasn't that bad. That wasn't that bad.
That didn't even hurt that much.
Let me ask you, right now in this moment, I want you to go do, I love negotiating with strangers.
I love negotiating
I look forward
with
to
strangers.
it.
I look forward to
I like
negotiating
it.
with strangers. I like negotiating with
It's
people.
fun.
It's actually fun doing these deals.
That's exactly where I need you to be for where we go next. You ready?
I can't believe that.
Let's go. Aren't you glad we didn't break that on your throat?
Yes, this was a little bit easier.
All right. So here's why we did all that. Where we are going into your future is basically learning how to buy real estate deals with no money and no credit. And it's really about negotiating. And here's a couple things that you need to know about it. Number one, the number one fear is talking to strangers and negotiating. But let me ask you, did we take care of it? Are you kind of excited now?
Yes.
Yes, and it's mindset. It's a what?
It's a mindset.
It's 100% a mindset to choose to like something when others don't. If you want to know why a handful of people will make millions of dollars in real estate and others will never do a deal or just a handful, it all comes down to the real estate between your two ears. So Carson, obviously what we're talking about is mental toughness.
Yes.
And there are 3 rules for overcoming this fear when it comes to talking to people in real estate, these 3 golden rules. Number 1, shift perspective. Instead of I'm nervous to talk to strangers and I'm scared to make a lowball offer, it's you're helping sellers. You're not begging for deals. You're making it their idea to lower the price. And by the way, I'm gonna tell you right now, these homes that come at really big discounts, they have problems, so they understand that. And they're not gonna get a full asking price anyway, and so there's an art to negotiation, but I will tell you, you're gonna meet a number of people that are gonna thank you and say, I needed this cash or I needed this deal, and you're gonna be the one to bring that to them. Number 2, repetition. How we build confidence is by doing the same thing over and over again the right way. So the first 10 calls feel scary, but the next 100, they're gonna feel a lot more natural. Not only that, but you're coming into the game with a mentor that's gonna walk you through this. And I can tell you, I've done hundreds and hundreds of these deals. These strategies work. So confidence comes by putting in the reps. And then number 3 is detaching emotionally. This is, to some extent, a numbers game. So as long as you don't get attached to a house or a deal or the good conversation that you had last week, eventually you're going to find a deal. And here's a good way of thinking about it. You're gonna be putting a lot of offers out there. This is 50 G's, $50,000. This is the kind of money I want you to make at least on one of these deals. So imagine that you put out 10 offers after looking at 100 deals and you got rejected on all 10 of them, but one of them went through and made you $50,000. Let me ask you, how much money did you actually make on all the rejections?
Well, I mean, 50 G's divided by 10?
$50,000 divided by 10 rejections is $5,000 an offer. So on one that accepts it, you might make the actual $50,000, but every time I get rejected, I'm depositing $5,000 in my bank account. How would it feel if you got paid $5,000 for a rejection?
I mean, that makes rejection a lot sweeter.
No, I want you to think about a real $5,000 hitting your bank account. How would you actually feel when they say no?
I'd be excited. I'd be like, get me more no's.
And that is about building mental toughness. Ultimately, this is what I need you to walk away with. Number 1, your thoughts control your success. So if you have fear-based thoughts, oh, it's probably not gonna work, I can't do it, it'll be scary, it'll be hard, I got news for you. You're gonna douse all that motivation out of your body and you're not gonna go out there and do the do. Next, wealth is created when you do the following 3 things. Number 1, you gotta be an action taker. And that's why I had you jump in the river. It's to make sure that you would take action. And you know what? I gotta tell you, seeing you break that arrow on your throat just reaffirmed to me that you're up to the task. If you can do that, bro, we're gonna find a deal. And if you can find one deal, you can find what?
10.
10, because the deal of the decade comes along once a week. It's out there. Number 2, fail fast and learn. Like, just throw yourself out there and try. And you know what? Mess up. It's okay. There's always going to be a next deal, a next race, a next chase. Every rejection gets you closer to a yes. And we talked about mentally, a rejection is actually exciting because you're paying yourself several $1,000s when someone says no. And number 3, you got to get in the game of abundance. It's a belief. It's like the deal's out there. It's not limited. This scarcity mindset of there's not enough to go around is juxtaposed with there are thousands of deals right now that are waiting just for you. Got it? So check it out. Today, we've been talking about where we're headed next, which is Carson's portfolio is on track. It's moving in the right direction. It's optimized, but now it's a waiting game. He's gonna have to wait before he can sell an asset, buy more houses, and then it's gonna be a waiting game to then let it grow and develop and then sell it and buy more assets. So in the meantime, instead of Carson just saying, well, I ran out of money to put into my portfolio, even though once upon a time I started with nothing, I'm now going to jumpstart his portfolio at a higher level by teaching him how to do no money down real estate. And you're going to want to join us for this ride because just like I teach him step by step, I'm teaching you at the exact same time.
All right, Kris, you said the arrow wasn't the challenge this time. It was just a stop along the way. So lay it on me.
This is your challenge.
A paperclip.
A paperclip. Have you ever played the bigger and better game?
Yeah, in college I did.
Okay, here's the bigger and better game. I'm going to give you this paperclip and I'm going to give you a timed 3-hour block. You've got to go door to door and basically ask the person, hi, I'm playing a game, I've got a paperclip. Is there anything you're willing to trade this for that is bigger or better? And you're going to go door to door and you're going to keep playing that game. And at the end of 3 hours, I want to see if you can turn this into an item that is worth at least $250. That's the goal.
Okay.
Is it possible?
How much?
$250
$250 from this?
Yep.
3 hours?
3 hours.
Do I get to pick the neighborhood I do it in?
Yep, you can pick it, you can do anything else you want. But, so if you don't get an object worth at least 250 bucks, you fail. And there's gonna be a consequence. But this time there's gonna be a reward if you can trade up for an object worth $500 or more.
What's the reward?
You'll just have to wait and see.
Oh my gosh, I knew you'd say that. I knew you'd say that.
You ready?
Yeah, I think I can do this. Negotiating this will be fun.
Yep, because you
I love it.
love negotiating with people.
I love it.
Challenge accepted?
Challenge accepted.
Let's go. The pen is mightier than the sword, and this paperclip is mightier than a Benjamin. So check it out. I'm sending Carson into a game to see if he can create a couple $100 found in an object through the bigger and better game. The reason why I'm having him do this is because you could play that game every day and make $1,000 a week, and all of a sudden you're making more money annually than the average college graduate. It's meant to like break this idea in your head of like, well, I've got to do a 9 to 5, I've got to work for somebody else. A real estate investor thinks outside the box, and this is a perfect game to cause you to realize that the world is really full of abundance and opportunity. And you know what? You should play the bigger and better game with a paperclip as well, and drop it in the comments and share how much value in objects did you create in 3 hours. When I was a kid, I played the bigger and better game, and inside of 2 hours, we ultimately traded this for like this $2,000 piece of weightlifting equipment. It was used, but I was like, whoa, that like mentally broke this whole idea of getting a job and working for somebody else. I'm like, you can be rewarded with creativity instead of selling your soul. Well, if you want to see how Carson is doing on his bigger and better journey, click right here. And if you're fully confused at where this journey started, click right here. Let's get you going.